Hey guys, in this video we will show you the best tips and tricks with chamber on the map Ascent, and we will start right here on A side when you are defending, right here on A. Firstly, with your trademark ability, you wanna place it every time if you are playing right here into any of these corners. You can see how far this ability ranges, so if you place it in this corner or this corner, but make sure you place it a bit further so it is a bit difficult, harder to destroy than if you would place it next to the corner and the enemies could seal it as soon as they enter. So this way the enemies will go right here and they will get hit with either one. You should do only one of them and the other one save for a different spot. Other trademarks you can use most likely on chart. This is a great spot. This is a great spot since it would spot enemies really soon and you would have the info early on. And another spot would be here if that one gets destroyed, or if you want to change it a bit, or even on this side right here. Very similar to the previous one. And make sure you once again do it a bit further so it's a bit harder to spot and destroy. And this is how it will look like. The enemy will always get hit at either of these spots and you will have the info if the enemies are pushing on chart. Of course, you can also place your trademarks right here, which would work as well. The same way as the previous one, you can either do it right here on top or just right here. And this is what it would look like. Even if the enemies would be trying to flank you to heaven, or if they would decide that they want to go straight on site, they would always get spot. Right here on mid, there's a plenty of spots which you can use to place your trademark ability. You can do it either once again on either side, right like this, or even right here. It doesn't really matter and doesn't make that much of a change. Or if you want to play a bit more past it and you want to make more space for the enemies, it really depends on you. You can place it once again at the pizza box or all the way here in the market if you want to play real passive. And this is how it would look like if the enemies decided to push. They would get once again spotted from either of these, and right here get spotted by this one, and then just like this. So it's very simple and just it will really get you the info that you need. Right here on B side, a bit more aggressive way how you're gonna place it. It's just very simply at the beginning of the round, just place your trademark ability right here. Or you can once again try to using it very simply like alarm bot, just like this, or even all the way here at the back. So if the enemy pushes, he would get spotted firstly in this B main, just like this, and if he pushes more, he would get spotted firstly by this one, and then immediately by this one as well. To sum it up, if you wanna simply use your ability, use it very simply. You want to place one here and the other one at a very different spot. You can place it on short or all the way to mid, so that way you can even provide more coverage for your team. So make sure you don't want to place your ability next to each other, and you always should cover at least 2 spots and place it there at the beginning of the round since it gets you the most info. If you are on the attacking side, you want to make sure that you are always holding flank with these abilities. It is very simple to use and you want to always do that just very simply. For example, if your team decided that they are going to go on B, you want to make sure that you want to place one of your abilities right here. For example, that way if the CTs push, they would get spotted and you know that there is someone to worry about flank. And even if they pushed mid, they would once again get spotted by this alarm bot as well. And the same thing works for B side as well. If your teammates are pushing A, just simply place your little trademark right here. It would be difficult for enemies to spot, and if the cities push just like this, they would always get spotted. And once again, you would get the info that they are pushing. It would be simple for you. Even if they break it, you still get the info. One thing to mention, these trademarks are very easily destroyed. As you can see, you can break it with classic in only one shot. So make sure you place it in spots that are hidden and that would be difficult to destroy. Now let's move on to your teleport ability. The best way how you can do this, if you are defending, you want to make sure that you have the option to always run away from your position and change it very easily. So for example, doing something like this in this spot and then placing your other TP either under heaven or once again into heaven, it's really up to you. You can do stuffs like this. You can very simply shoot at the enemy right here and then TP immediately, and they would have no chance and no idea where you TP'd, and then you can once again kill them. And if you are here long enough, you can even TP back and try to surprise them from this spot once again. It's really up to you, and there are endless options how you can use this. If you are playing mid, you can do stuff like this with your TP. Just simply place it anywhere where you want and place the other one, for example, in market, so you have a safe way to go back, or you can place it all the way here that you can also immediately peek then into B main, and then you can just very simply aggressively try to peek at this link and try to get a kill. Then you just simply TP to a safe spot and you can repeat a different area. And you don't have to even TP here, you can TP anywhere pretty much on the map since you are on mid. For example, in B main, you can do stuff like this. You can place your first TP at the stairs, just right there, and the other one at the beginning of the round, just place it when you are pushing into B main, just place it here. So that way, when the enemies are coming, you can get a kill, and then you TP immediately after into a safe spot, and the enemies would have no chance of killing you this way. It's very simple, and then you can once again repeat again and try to get another kill. Another important thing to mention, your deagle, your headhunter, can also wallbang very easily. It is high penetration gun, so you can shoot through enemies through the wall, and you can very simply kill them, as you can see. The enemies would be dying, and this is very easy to do, and you can do this very same thing with your ultimate as well. The enemies can also be killed through the wall with this ability, like this, and it would, as you can see, it would even slow the other ones who would be pushing. So don't forget, you can wallbang with these guns at pretty much any spot on the map. And we will start right here on A side when we are defending with trademarks. So firstly, there are not many trademarks that you can really place here all the way into A main. These would get easily broken, so you want to make sure that you place them at least right at these spots. Those are the options that you can use, and I think those work the best. And you want to make sure that this one isn't very close to the corner, otherwise it would be visible. So if the enemies come like this, they would get spotted by any of these. Firstly with these two, and lastly with this one. This one is a very passive, so you should be playing with that one in elbow, and you would have the info that the enemies were pushing you, and then you can try to peek that and get a free kill. If you are defending in A heaven, you can try doing these. This trademark is really great since you can place it there without peeking this corner, and the enemies would not even see you and expect this one to be there. Then you can do other trademarks, for example at these spots as well. Either of these three spots is a good idea. And then you can do a bit more passive one if you want to be trying to hold ropes as well. Just place it right here in the middle. So when the enemies push the ramp, it's gonna look like this. They will get spotted at these choke points, and then it will be pretty easy for you to get a kill, as you can see. So overall, if you want to place your trademarks, make sure you place them at two different spots. For example, one here under heaven, and the other one right here at the heaven spot, for example at this area. Just don't place the two of these trademarks at the same spot. On mid, you can place them at these spots. For example, right here at the beginning of the round. Once again, you don't have to be even seen. You can just place it there and then run back. This one works very well. The other one, you can place it into this corner, or you can do very simply on the other side. Or if you want to just be holding these ropes, you can just very simply place one right at the bottom, and this would probably never get destroyed, since usually enemies would not look all the way down. So if they push, it will look like this. Firstly, they will get spotted right here on mid, this one, and then with either of these in this middle area, and then if they jump down, they will get immediately spotted by the other one as well. If you are playing in this big tower, you can do these setups. Once again, you can do this one, trademark, right here. You don't have to even pick that once again. Then you can do one all the way here, in this corner. Once again, it's a great spot to place it there, since enemies would not use it's hardly to be spotted and the enemies won't destroy it. However, don't place it on this side, since enemies usually check that and this trademark would get destroyed. So place it rather on this spot. Once again, on any of these three, as you can see. And then you can even do one right here under the ropes.
That works.
So if the enemy pushes, you would get the info that they are coming firstly right here on mid, then even all the way here in the main, then with any of these, and then if they drop here at the ropes, they would get spotted. But this one is real passive, just if you are playing in some 1v1 situation, so that you have the info. Right here on B, you can do a very similar thing with your trademark. You can place it all the way into this corner without even peeking this, so the enemies would never notice it or expect it, so that you have the early info that they are here, and you can be trying to wait for them to get spotted, and then you can pick them when they are slowed, since they would usually pay attention to this little trademark. Then you can place one even in this corner, and here you have plenty of options where you want to place it. So you can do one even all the way here on the top, here on this corner, or in any of these corners. This one is the most passive one, so they would usually get spotted more here in this choke point. If you want to place one here, be aware that usually there's a sage on the enemy team, and they usually place their wall like this, so this one would not activate. So, and then you can place one even all the way in the back, but this one is not that great. It's only if the enemies are really close. So if they push, they will get first spotted by this one, just like this, and then you can be trying to whip that, as you can see, and then these all of these would go off, and lastly this one, and this is how it would look like in game. If you are holding flank with chamber, you can be placing your trademarks at these different spots. Firstly, very simply right here, just next to this corner. If there's anyone pushing B, you would get the info. If you with your team are going B, you can do this one right here at this corner. Enemies would never check this one, and they would just go simply by it, and then they would get spotted, and you would get the info that they are pushing you into your back. However, if you are going on A, you can try placing one right into this corner. This is a great spot. It's quite a deep one, so the enemies would usually go even back and go back to heaven. Or you can just very simply place one right here, just like this. Then they would get spotted if they were pushing ropes, or if they would be pushing our spawn.
There they are.
Very simply. On A side, there are plenty of spots where you can place your TP. One of the great spots would be this one. You can place one right there behind the flower pot, and the other one right here on spawn. Since from this spot you don't have much to run from, so if the enemies would be pushing, they would go simply by you. They don't often check this, so you can get a simple free kill. So if they push, you can very simply kill them like this in the back, then you can TP and surprise them from a different area. Another TP that can be great is very simply this one. Just place it right behind this corner, and the other one, once again, you can place it wherever you want. You can place it even an elbow, or the safest spot is right here on spawn. So if the enemies would be pushing, they usually don't look all the way in this corner, so if they are coming like this, then you can try to get a simple free kill. You can TP immediately after that, and you have saved yourself, and you are in a great situation, and you can be retaking the side with your team. Right here on ramp, you can do a very similar thing. At the beginning of the round, you can try to push this corner, and you can place there your TP and the other TP right here all the way in the back. So after that, at the beginning of the round, you just simply push this, trying to avoid the enemies, and then you can be trying to get a free kill. And if you get the free kill just like this, you can then TP, and you are once again in a safe spot. Right here on mid, you can do a very similar thing right behind this box. You can just go in this corner, and then the other TP can be placed pretty much wherever you want. You can place it even all the way here in heaven, just like this, in this elbow area, for example. And then you can try, if the enemies are coming right here on mid, you can just be camping behind this box, then killing them, getting that kill, and then TPing back. And once again, you are in a safe spot, as you should be. And lastly, here on B, you can do stuff like this, for example, place one TP at this safe spot, or even all the way here at spawn. And the other one, you can be trying to playing a close range fight, so just simply hide in this corner and be waiting for enemies to come. And if they come, you can once again try to get a free kill on them, and then you can very simply TP. Just like that. And we will start right here when you are defending on a side, and right here at this short. Firstly, with your trademark ability. You can place your trademark ability right here in this corner at the beginning of the round, without even exposing yourself here into this short. Then you can do also different variations, for example this one right here, or if you want to play really passive, you can do one right behind this corner. That way you can peek with it from a U-haul. And you can wanna be playing with these to get the info, or you can just simply hope that it will scare enemies off. So if you will be pushing the short, it will look just like this. The enemies would come, this one would spot him straight up, and if they would be rushing, this is how far they would get before spotting. Other trademarks, you can place them right here in showers. Once again, you can place them into these corners without really exposing yourself from the enemies at the beginning of the round. So you can place firstly one right here, or all the way into this corner.
That's a good spot.
And any of these will work perfectly. Of course, you can place one even here to make that in mind. And make sure you can also do on either side of this spot, but this one will be much more passive, and make sure that the enemies can get a bit further without, they can be standing here without it spotting them. So make sure that you know that. So if the enemy would be pushing right here, it would look something like this. He would get spotted firstly by these two in the doors, then any of these, and if they would be continuing their way, they would simply get spotted by either one of these as well. So this is how it will look like in game. Now let's move on to B side with your trademark ability, and if the enemies would be pushing short, a very simple one is to place it once again here without really exposing yourself to this B short, or you can place them in these spots, and these spots in the hookah area are really good. These are two basic ones to just make sure that the enemies are coming, and then you can hide your utility into these spots. Firstly, right here into this. Just like that. There is no way that the enemies will ever spot this, and you can just, they will never spot this and break this, and it will always spot them. So make sure you do this one, or you can do one right into this spot, or even into this one, just like that. And it's really hard to spot. The enemies would really not expect to be here. You can also either place it into this corner if you want to, but these hidden ones, especially this one, are very useful. And then if the enemies would push hookah, you can make sure you can either place it anywhere below it, just like that. So if the enemy would be pushing, firstly he would get spotted by this one right here on mid, just like that. And if he would continue his way into the hookah, it would look like this. He would get spotted by either one of these at the entrance, and especially with this one, and with others like this, if he would continue his way, and he would get spotted. And then he would just simply jump out once again, and he would be running straight towards the side. He can't even jump if he's slowed like this, to make sure that you know that, and he would not really get far without spotting, just right here. And lastly, your trademarks right here on long, you can once again place them without even exposing yourself or peeking long right to this corner, or you can do it on either of these sides into the garden, and you can even do it a bit more passive one, just right into this corner. Any of these will work perfectly, and it will work as you want to. So if the enemy would be pushing, he would simply get spotted firstly with this one on long, and then with either of these in the garden, and if he would continue his way, very simply he would get spotted by that next one just behind that corner. So those are probably the best ones which you wanna use when you are playing. When you are attacking, you wanna be holding flank, and you can do this by simply, if the enemies wanna be pushing towers, just by simply placing it right here behind this corner, or if you wanna make sure that they won't push short, you can just simply, you don't have to even place it here, you can place it just at this spot, so that you know that they are a bit more committed to the to the flank, and if they spot them, they will usually go back without trying to flank you anymore, but make sure that you know that. And if the enemies would be flanking B, there's once again plenty of ways. You can just simply hide it right here on this corner, or you can do it right here in the middle, so that way you know that they are not coming from long and trying to flank you even more. And of course you can do it on either side, just right into these corners, but these is really expected from them. And or you can place it right here on long for holding the flank. So those are the simplest trademarks which you can use when you are holding flank for your team. Now let's move on and try to use your TP ability right here on A when you are defending. The best way how you can use this, you can combine it with your ultimate or with your headhunter utility, and you're gonna place one here into the safe spot in heaven, and the other one you can try to peek right here in the middle at this shard, and trying to, that way you can place one teleport right here, and you can just simply peek, try to get a kill right here on shard, TP back, and be holding shard or showers from a different angle where the enemies would not really expect you to be. You can do a very similar thing. Once again, I would recommend you place like in heaven, since it's a very safe spot and you can support your team or be playing for retake. And you can place it either all the way here at the lamps and then once again be peeking this shard. Or you can do a very similar thing just by simply trying to run here at the beginning of the round and trying to be playing for your team. You can place your TP all the way here, so that way you can simply once again TP back. So make sure you try to utilize your TP aggressively if you are in eco, and make sure you always TP back to help your team out. When you are using your TP ability right here on B, I would recommend you a very safe spot would be in tube or simply behind the side, or you can do it even all the way on spawn. But if you want to help more team out, you can just very simply at the beginning of the round try to peek it with your ultimate or with your headhunter, try to get a kill or at least some damage, and then make sure you TP back into a safe spot, and once again you continue defending. You can do a very similar thing on long. You can keep your TP behind the side, and you can just very simply sneak your way all the way here at the beginning of the round, and then just simply make sure you place your TP like this. You want to be waiting for enemies to come and then try to kill them, and you can once again simply TP all the way back. So make sure you utilize that. And we will start right here on A side with trademark ability. And we will start right here at the dish. There are plenty of ways where you can place your trademark. Three most simple ones would be, if you want to try to play aggressive and get the early info, would be right here, just behind this corner, just like that. Then you can do even one all the way here at the bottom, or you can do very simply one right here on the other side. This one would spot anyone who would be going here all this way. And make sure you always place, if you are trying to do this, hold this, make sure you place one here. It's a very simple one, and it will cover a lot of area, since enemies, if they will check it, they can't see all the way down, and they will just go simply by it. And then you can get these very easy info. So if the enemy would be coming at the dish right here, he would get spotted first by this one, and it would be very easy. And then if he would be continuing his way just like this, he would check it and then get hit by the other one. And of course these very similar things works for the other spot as well. The enemies would get spotted and tagged. Now let's move on right here into A halls. There are plenty of ways that you can place your trademark, and if you want to place it aggressively and try to whiff it, so you can peek with it as well, you can just very simply place it right here without even peeking this corner at the beginning of the round, or you can just simply place one right here or one a bit further right here. All these will work perfectly fine, and you can play with them and you will get the early info if you will need it. So if the enemy would be pushing right here, very simply, he would be running around them and he would get always tagged. And if he would continue his way all the way here, he would very simply get tagged again and be spotted by this other bot, just like that. And then you can try to peek with it behind this corner or behind that one if you are standing there. If you want to place your trademark ability anywhere at the ropes, there is few spots which can be useful. Very simply, just place it into this corner. That way if they open the doors, they would get tagged. Or you can place one a bit further all the way here. These two will work perfectly fine with you. You can also place one right here, but this one can be easily destroyed from the door since it doesn't have that big of a range, and it would probably get destroyed since it gives you the info still, but it would get broken and the enemies would not be slowed. So if the enemy would be pushing this spot just like this, it will get simply tagged by this one and then by the other one. So you can always decide whichever you want to use. But make sure you want to be placing at least one at each side. For example, one here and the other one anywhere in the halls. You can put this one, which can be more passive, just right there. So we get the info for your team if the enemies are pushing here on A. Now let's move on to B side, right here at the arcade. There's plenty of ways how you can place your trademark ability. You can even place it right here at the beginning of the round, all the way here behind this arcade, just like that. Or you can do it on the other side if you wanna see if the enemies would be pushing this way. This is one of many ways how you can do it. The other one, if you wanna place it in tower, there are two ways how you can do it. You can either do it by hugging this corner, just like that, or placing one very simply right here, since enemies would never see that one, and if you are climbing the rope, the enemies would never be looking here since they know that there's no one standing here, and this bot will spot them very simply. And then you can do the other one from here as well, just by simply at the beginning of the round you can hug the wall and place one right here, just like that, and you would see all the way here in the back. And it would spot anyone who would be pushing. So if the enemy would be pushing, it would just simply look like this. He would be coming his way, either from here and get spotted by any of these bots, or he can go into trying to climb the rope. And then if he would be climbing the rope, he would once again get spotted by these two immediately as he enters, as you can see. So this is very simple to do it on this side of the map. Right here on the other side of the map, you can be trying to do stuff like this, just by very simply placing your trademark right at this spot. It is a bit hard to find anything here since you cannot really place it here. The enemies would always have time to break it. You can put a bit more passive one right here at this corner, so if the enemies are really close, you can try to be playing in tower and waiting for them to come, and then you can peek with your ability, since you would know that they are anywhere in this area. So it would simply look like this. The enemy would be pushing and he would get spotted by either one of these as soon as they come here. Very simple. So if you will be placing any of your trademarks, make sure you place them one on this side and the other one anywhere in this area. For example, right here. It works just fine and it will get you and gain you the info that you might need in the round. If you are attacking, there's plenty of ways how you can hold your flank with. For example, at the dish there is this amazing and very safe spot to place your utility, so if anyone is pushing dish, he will get spotted. On the other side, you can do it, for example, right here, behind this box, right here on top of this. Very simple once again, anyone who would be coming this way would get spotted. Right here on the other side of the tree, there's once again plenty of ways that you can place it, either like this, or very simply, just right here. So if anyone would be pushing, they would get spotted. And lastly, at this area, once again, you should know these angles. They are very useful to know, and you can place your utility into these angles, since enemies would never try to pre-fire and break it. So you will get the info if there is anyone pushing or not. So it's very simple to hold flank with this character, especially on fracture. Now let's move on to the TP ability. You can very simply place your TP anywhere where you want at any safe spot. For example, this is a decent spot to TP back to, and if you want to be pushing ramp, you can just very simply place your card right here, and at the beginning of the round you can try to push this and try to surprise the enemies, and if you get the kill, you can simply TP back, just like that. On the other side, in these halls, you can do very similar thing. You can be trying to maybe sneak your way all the way here if this hallway was smoked, so you can just simply place one here, and the other one, once again, you can place it anywhere on the map, and you make sure that it is in the range, so you can place one maybe right here at the stairs, which is a safe spot since the enemies cannot see all the way there. And if you TP just like this, you can just be waiting here for enemies to come, and then you can simply TP and then repeat again from a different spot. And of course the very similar thing works from this spot. You can place your TP right here and then go just all the way at spawn and place your card just right here behind this corner. So you can TP into a safe spot, and if you get the open that the enemy is coming around you, you can just very simply kill them, get the kill, TP back, or even if you are getting killed from the ramp into your back. So make sure you try to utilize this ability. Right here on B, you can do a very similar thing. At the beginning of the round, I love to play in tower, so I will place it since it's a quiet safe spot if there's someone holding you. And then you can very simply peek at the beginning of the round. For example, right here, you can use your ultimate with it and try to peek this spot, get a kill, and TP back in tower, and try to repeat the other side if you want. So this is very simple to do. Other way how you can do it, you can place your TP right here in the tower, and you can be trying to surprise enemies by peeking from this spot. So you place your TP right here and try to peek this corner. And after getting a shot done, you can TP and repeat the same spot from a different angle. Very simple to do, and you should definitely try it. You will start by simply on A when you are defending with your trademark ability. At the beginning of the round there is this barrier, and you can just simply go all the way here and place your trademark all the way there without even exposing yourself or trying to go close to it and expose yourself to other enemies who might be waiting there in cave. You can do it on the other side as well, and those are probably one of these. If you do them, is the best one that you can do. You can do a bit more passive one right into this corner, or you can try doing this one behind this corner, but make sure that you know what it covers, since it doesn't go that far, the range of it, and it does go all the way here to middle. So if you place this one, it doesn't catch anyone who'd be pushing all the way hugging this wall. And also you can do one right here on mid. It's a very simple one, but this one will be really efficient for your team, and it will get you the info if there's anyone coming doors. So make sure you pretty much always do this one if you don't want to be holding doors. And if there would be anyone pushing side, it would simply look like this. He would be coming in from cave, and then he would get spotted by either one of these. If he would come close to enough to this one, and then he would get spotted. And if there's anyone planting or trying to go all the way behind the pyramids, he would once again get caught by your other trademark. And if the enemy would be pushing mid, it would simply look like this. He would get caught anywhere on this ramp. But make sure that you know that, since the enemies can really surprise you if they will go very fast into these doors, they can kill you into the back if you are not expecting that. Right here in the cube, you can place your trademark anywhere behind these doors if you want to make sure that there's no one flanking you. Or on this side, it doesn't really matter, but this one is a bit more passive and it will catch enemies if they are all the way here. Or you can do very simply this one at the beginning of the round, once again without exposing yourself into this corner. So if there would be anyone coming, this one would catch them. If the enemies would decide to push, he would get caught, and once again these would catch them as well. So make sure you know this, and those are probably the best ones that you can do here. Right here in this mid nest you can do one just right here, so there's no one going to heaven, and you will always know that if there's someone. But this one is not that great to use, since usually enemies won't do that, and you can do these instead. If there's anyone pushing this B tunnel, you can do one right here into this spot. It is hardly visible for anyone coming from this elbow, and they would not really expect it to be there. Or you can do just one very simply behind these rocks, and the alarm bot can see through the rocks and it would spot them. Or you can do just a bit further right behind this rock as well, just like that. So if there would be anyone pushing, it would just look like this. The enemy would be coming and he would get spotted by either of these, or if he's closer he will get spotted by that one. So make sure you know this and try to do this. If you are playing right here on B, you can try doing these. You can place them on either side of the entrance, and this should be enough. But if you want to play a bit more passive, you can even place either one here for anyone who'd be coming to plant, or all the way here behind this corner. And if you want to be playing right here at the back, you would spot them and you can try to play with it and try to get the kill. So if anyone would be pushing, it would just simply look like this. The enemy would be coming. Here we would be spotted by either one of these, and if he would decide that he wants to go to the elbow, he would once again get spotted, but he won't be spotted by that one, by this trademark which is all the way here. So make sure you know that. If you are holding flank for your team, you can try doing these. You can place them on either side, either here or here, or you can do it even a bit further in the back to know if there's anyone coming from the tube. This one would spot anyone who'd be coming into these tunnels or coming from them. And right here, if you are waiting for B push, you can do one at the elbow, or you can do a bit more aggressive one either behind this corner or on either side of this. Depends how you want to play it. So these are great for holding flank. Make sure you know this and try to use them in your game. Now let's move on to your TP ability. And this one, there's a lot of ways how you can use it on A. I find this spot very safe to use and it's good to peek from. So you will want to place your first TP all the way there. And the other one, you can place it in this dead spot, which is hard to play around with. You can just place it here. And then you can be waiting, maybe even with your ultimate, for anyone to push. And after you get a kill, you can just very simply TP, and you can either continue holding tunnels or be watching middle or any other spot. And once again, you won yourself the time, and you can be playing even for retake from this spot if you want to. Another good spot where you can use your TP would be, once again, you want to place your TP anywhere. You can use it on the stairs as well, and then at this mid entrance, and then you can very simply peek mid, and after you get shot, you can just once simply TP back, be trying to hold cave. Very simple to do and try to use it. Right in this elbow area, there's a lot of ways how you can use your TP once again. You can firstly place one here, and then you can even try to play aggressive in this elbow. So make sure you place your TP here, and after you get a kill, just TP back, and you can be holding, for example, these tunnels. And if you are defending once again on B, you can try holding this corner with jett, and if there's no escape from this spot, so you can just very simply TP to a different one, for example right here into the back, and after you get a kill at this spot, you can just very simply TP there and be trying to kill them from this different angle. And we will start with his trademark utility right here on A side when you are defending. There's plenty of spots where you can place your trademark, but these ones seem to be the best one. So firstly, there is very simply this one. So if anyone is coming, this one would spot them, and enemies would not usually look all the way down. It would be difficult for them to break. And then you can do even one on this side, and as you can see, this one has a really good range since it goes all the way here at this spot, and you would catch anyone even if they would be going this way. Those two are probably the best ones and the most aggressive ones, and you can do a bit more passive ones right here, either on top of this or under this, if you want to make it a bit more hidden, since this one, however, this one will spot them sooner than this one, to make sure that you know that. And then you can do either one behind this box as well. This one would catch anyone if they would be going on zipline, and one right here, just like that. So those are probably the best ones which you can use. If there would be anyone pushing, it would simply just look like this. If they would be going straight to the side, anyone who would be coming, they would be caught by either one of these, as you can see. And if they would be pushing still, they would get caught after that there. And if they would be going the other way, just like that, this is how it will look like. The enemy would be pushing, and then they would get caught by either one of these, and if they would get really far, this one would catch them. So those are probably the best trademarks right here on A side. Right here on the mid, you can also place your trademarks at the beginning of the round, either under the tube, just like that, or you can do it on the other side as well. So, and also you can do this one right here, and if you want to place the ones in tube, you can make sure that you can place one on the left, since if the enemies are pushing, they would never really check this right spot, or you can just very simply do it right here. And also you can do once right here as well, but this one is just for the mid push. If the enemies would be pushing under the tube, it would look just like this. They would get caught firstly by that one, and then after that by the other one. And right here in tube, in kitchen, it would look just like this. Once again, they would get spotted by either one of these. Lastly, on B, there's plenty of spots where you can place your utility. At the beginning of the round, you can place it even all the way here in the back, or just simply behind these double blocks. Also, these spots are great to use as well.
That works.
Either these two corners, or you can do one right here. This one would work if the enemies wouldn't push in on either side. It doesn't really matter. And then if you wanna put one real passive one, you can even put it behind the yellow. However, if the enemies would be pushing, it would simply just look like this. The enemies would come and be running straight, and they would be being caught by either one of these, as you can see. And all of these would catch them just in time to get you the info, or even just so that you know that there's someone going there. When you are attacking, there is a few spots where you wanna place your trademark if you are going to hold flank. For example, this spot, make sure that you don't place it all the way in the corner, so that way your trademark would not see anyone going through this, only if they would push this carriage. Another great spot would be right behind this box, since enemies would just simply run straight and they would never try to check this corner. Also, placing behind these barrels would work fantastic. And you can do either on this side or on this one. But this one is better, since no one would go all the way here trying to flank you. They would usually try to find the shortest way which they can go, and this one would usually spot them. Now let's move on to your TPs when you are defending. You can very simply put your TP right into this spot. It's a really safe spot to TP to. That's your first one, and then your other one, you can place it anywhere where you want. If you want to push this, I would recommend you placing one right here, and then you can very simply try to be holding this corner with your ultimate. Then you can get a kill, very simple TP back, and try to repeat other spot. Another great way how you can defend with your TP is placing one right here on these stairs at rafters, and the other one you can be very simply camping behind this spot waiting for anyone to come, and then you can just, if you get a kill or they will spot you, the drone will spot them, or the dart, you can just very simply try to peek and then immediately TP back on rafters and having yourself a much safer spot, and you can try playing for retake with your team after that. Right here on mid, you can do this TP. You can just very simply place your TP right here at the ramp at the beginning of the round, and then you can be trying to go all the way here. Make sure you place your TP right here, and then you can very simply try to peek this spot and trying to get a kill. And if you get a kill, you can once again very TP, reposition, and be holding from ramp right this middle as well. So this is another combination of your TP which you can very simply do. Another way how you can use your TP, you don't even have to use it just to peek. You can try to use it to get yourself into some positions that enemies would not expect you to be in, just like this one. You can TP all the way here on top, or you can very simply use it once again for peeking a different area. You can either use it for this spot, you can be playing here with jett or with a different gun, and then you can just very simply either TP all the way here in the back and behind the side, or just behind the yellow. TPing behind the side is the much safer option. So if you would be peeking, you can be even holding with this, with your ultimate, or just very simply waiting for enemies to come with jett or your headhunter, and then you can just simply TP in, be holding them from a different spot. So don't forget to use this when you are playing on B. And we will start when we are defending right here on A side, and firstly let's concentrate on long. So you can place your trademark right here behind this box right at the beginning of the round without even peeking and exposing yourself to enemies. You can do also very simple trademark right here, since anyone who would be peeking would not usually try to pre-aim this or expect anything to be here. So they would either pre-aim here, here, or most likely this corner first. So then you can also place your trademark right into this corner, or one right here all the way. So if there would be anyone pushing, they would simply firstly get caught by these two right here, and then if they would continue their way, they would then get spotted by these two trademarks, just like this, as you can see. And they would get caught very simply, just like that. In the sewers, you can try to do these trademarks as well. Once again, you can place one right at this corner without even exposing yourself, right behind this corner, and it would catch anyone who'd be coming from this ramp. Then you can do either on this side or on the other one. It really depends on you. And then if you want to do two more passive ones, you can do it most likely in this corner or even on this one. But this one is much better since it's much deeper and it's harder to break. So if there would be anyone pushing, they would get caught like this, firstly by this first one, just like that. And if they would be continuing right into these doors, they would be caught once again by any of these trademarks. And lastly, they would be caught by these two if they were even continuing their way all the way here. And it will gain you the info that there's anyone coming, and it will slow them. Let's move on to defending mid area. You can place your trademark right behind this corner once again without even exposing yourself of the mid, and then you can do a very simple ones right behind these doors. And these should be enough for you to catch anyone who'd be trying to push middle. As you can see, the first one will catch them, and then these two will activate and telling you that there's anyone who entered the site already. Next one is garage. Placing your trademark here would be really beneficial for your team, since there is a lot of spots where you can place it. You can try placing one right here at the beginning of the round, but it's not really that great since enemies don't really have to commit. It will just gain you the info that there's someone at this specific area. Instead, you should try placing your trademark right into these corners, just like that, or one behind this spot, or even one even further right here. Any of these will work perfectly, and it will catch anyone who would be trying to push, just like this. Firstly, there's that one on mid that would catch the enemy who's going doors, and then these that might catch anyone who would be pushing all the way there. As you can see, it doesn't stop them, but it will definitely slow in and get you the info that there's someone coming. Also, you can place your trademark into the window if you don't want to play, but you want to make sure that no one flanks your teammates right here on B. So placing it right here works just fine. Lastly, here on C, there's plenty of spots where you can place your trademark. You can even try doing this at the beginning of the round, trying to place it just like that, and then trying to fall back. Usually enemies won't have enough time to catch you, and however you don't place it far enough, you would have to go a bit further in front and then try to place it all the way there. If you place this one is fantastic. It will get you the info there's anyone in front of this little cubby, and that they are usually people are committing to the push if they are already here. So if you do this one, make sure that there is a smoke or someone at least covering you. Then you can do your trademark either on this spot, or you can even place it on top of this double box, just right there, and you can do it on the other side as well. So these trademarks will work fantastically, and they are just enough for you to catch anyone who is pushing long. And if there would be anyone pushing, these bots will catch them, firstly those two, and then any of these will catch anyone who's pushing even further. If you are attacking and you want to be holding flank for your team, placing your trademarks like this will work just fantastic, and will catch anyone. This one will catch anyone who is rotating from A, or anyone who is coming to A. This one is better if your teammates are on A, that there is plenty of spike, and this one will catch anyone who will be coming from this mid window, or coming from this either from garage or from spawn. This one is probably the best one to hold the flank. You can also try to hide them at different spots like these, but it doesn't cover that much area after that. If you wanna be just holding anyone coming from garage, you can try doing this one very simply. They would have to go around it if your teammates are on C. This one will catch them, or you can try placing it just behind this corner, which will work just well. Or you can place one even behind this little lantern, so it's a little bit more hidden. if you wanna just hold flank from C, placing your trademark right here will work also great, and it will catch anyone who'd be pushing in this area. Or you can even try to place it right here or in this corner as well. But this one is really the most aggressive one, and it doesn't gain you that much, unlike these two. Now let's move on to using your TPs when you are attacking. A great spot where you can place your TP is right here in heaven, and if you will be using your ultimate, it's even better spot than you think. And then you can place your other TP all the way here, and at the beginning of the round you can run into that corner and be trying to catch anyone, or you can be just simply waiting for anyone to push long, and if you catch someone you can then TP back to heaven, reposition and be holding a very different spot, or you can place the other TP right here at chart. These ones will work just fantastic on A, and you can, if you TP to heaven, you can try to play for a retake after that and be trying to help your team with your other utility. Right here on B, you can do a very similar thing as you did on A. You can place your TP anywhere into A link, into C link or A link, or even in backside, just like this, and then be trying to repeat the same spot. And at the beginning of the round, you might be trying to run here and hide here from anyone going into window. Then you just want to place your TP under you, and you will be simply waiting for anyone to come. You can try to kill them, and if you get the kill, just simply reposition, fall back, and you can once again be trying to kill them from this different spot. Right here in garage, I love to play either behind these doors or behind this double box. So firstly, you want to make sure that your first TP is in a safe spot. You can place it right behind this wall, behind the window, or all the way right here if you wanna then go on C. But this spot is fine enough for me, so you can do, then you can hide in either of these corners and be waiting for anyone to come, and then try to kill them. Very simple, and after you get a kill, you just wanna TP back into a safe spot, and then you can even repeat that if you feel confident enough. Lastly, your TP right here on long. Placing your TP behind this spot is really good since it's a safe spot, it's hard to wall bang. And then you can, at the beginning of the round, try to push this spot into the garden and try to sneak your way all the way here, placing your TP here, and then be waiting for anyone to come, and you can get the kill into the bank, since enemies don't check this, and you can get a free kill and then relocate with your TP all the way into the back. Or you can do a very similar thing. You can be playing with your ultimate. You wanna be placing your first TP anywhere in this area, then you can TP either from here or from this spot, and as soon as you get a kill, you just TP back, and then you can repeat. Most of the enemies would be looking here and be waiting for you, trying to pre-aim you, but you have the advantage of a different angle. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed these videos, the series with Chamber. I really did. And if you wanna see some more videos, don't forget to check out my channel. Don't forget to also comment and leave a like. It will really support my videos, and see you guys soon. Bye.